Hi guys, it's Amy with A2Z Stamping, and today I wanted to show you how to make this cute little holder for this Mentos Gum that I found. I wanted to make little treat holders from it, and this was the first one I designed, which is really cute, out of a designer series paper. But I wanted to show you guys how to make it because it's actually pretty simple and could probably hold several different things. It'd be easy to adjust the measurements of this to hold different things. But I wanted to show you how I did it, and this time I designed it with some cardstock. Okay, so let's get started. And actually, this does open up, and it opens up, oops, and in here stands the tree. In my case, I have some gum, and I'm going to just pop this out so I can show you what I'm talking about. So I just happen to be using this gum. Looks like this, comes in a case like this. You could probably find hand sanitizer or little tiny lotions or different things like that that would work. All right, so let me show you. And again, here's the cute little box. All right. So, just one second. I have to get myself situated here. All right. So what you need to make this is you first need a piece of cardstock or designer series paper. So I grabbed paper from the Dashing Along host promotion that's going on right now. So in the month of September 2018, with any order of $250 or more, that could be an order of just your own, or you could get a bunch of people together, or you could have a party, you earn this paper for free, and the paper is really pretty. It's a bunch of different designer series paper. So I'm using a piece from that and my piece of cardstock. You could also do this all in cardstock and stamp a design on it if you want. So my piece of cardstock here, sorry guys, let me grab my ruler. Just want to make sure my measurements are correct, and I think so. All right, so this right here is 2 inches by, should be by 12 inches. And this is cherry cobbler cardstock. So I got this from the Regals designer series 12 by 12 paper pack. Sorry, not designer series paper. This is from the Regals. So again, it's 2 by 12. And then the Dashing Along paper is just a little bit, not quite, so it's 1 3/4 by 12. And I'm just gonna go ahead and glue that down. And like I said, you could just use all cardstock and stamp on it. On my sample here, I just used the designer series paper, which is fine too, but the only thing is it's not quite as sturdy, and I wanted to make it a little bit more sturdy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and glue that down on here. Okay. And remember, this paper is only available till September 30th. If you're watching this after September 30th, just go ahead and use any designer series paper you like. Obviously, I'm making mine Christmassy, but this would be a fun thing to do all year long. All right, then what you need to do is you're going to have to score this, and I'm just going to actually grab my trimmer to score. I'm going to put my cutting blade down. And what I want to do is I want to score this at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to feed this side in first and score it at the 1/2 inch mark right here. And since I've doubled this up, I need to really make sure I score it. There we go, nice. Then I'm going to flip it around as if I had scored it at 1/2 inch that way. And then I'm going to score it at 1 3/4. So let's go here, 1 3/4. Okay, at 4 1/2. At 5 3/4. Let me open my arm up here. And at 8 1/2. 9 1/2. And 10 3/4. I know, kind of a lot of scoring, but that's okay. All right, and now I can put this back. All right, the next thing we want to do is go ahead and burnish. So let's start from the bottom here. I'm going to grab my bone folder. So I'm going to go, if I'm starting from this little 1/2 inch, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to do the first 4. Then I'm going to turn around and go to the other end, and I'm going to go 1, let's see, let me make sure I'm doing this correctly. 1 and 2. So this third one, we're not going to score that. We're just going to leave it. And that would have been the one that was at 8 1/2, I believe. Yep. So we're not going to burnish. Sorry, we're not going to burnish that one. Just go ahead and leave it alone. All right. Now what we're going to do is gets a little trickier at this point. So I'm going to grab my 1 3/4 inch circle punch. And what I want to do is, this is where I'm going to put the little hole right here. And let me show you again. It's this part right here. And so I kind of want like a half circle right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it in. And first we have that little 1/2 inch flap, so just kind of ignore that. Now the tricky part here, and it is a little tricky, is you want to get your circle exactly right, as best you can, right in the center of the cardstock, so that, sorry guys, I know I'm struggling as I say that. Okay, let me try one more time. If I feed it in straight, there we go. So if I'm doing it right, I shouldn't really see any of the cherry cobbler on either side. So this is too far in, but I wanted to see the line. So there's my score line. Now I don't want to go all the way down, so I'm going to go back because I want to go about 2/3 of the way in that. And it is going to cut off part of my 1/2 inch. So let me show you again. We want our circle, it's going to be like a half circle. Do you see that? A little more than half of a circle. Okay, so that looks good to me. I don't see any of the cherry cobbler, so I'm going to punch, and it's going to be really hard to punch. There we go. Whew. And now it looks like that. Okay, so now what I need to do, though, is I need to fix this little part right here. And I don't even know where that piece just went flying, which you could use that piece, but I'm just going to grab a little strip here. I happen to have some more cherry cobbler cardstock. Let me grab my trimmer out again. And I'm just going to cut myself a little tiny strip. Okay. This is just the way I found to fix it. There's probably a million different ways. What I'm going to do is, sorry, I need it to be 2 inches long. I promise this is the hardest part of the whole box, is just doing this little hole. After this, it's smooth sailing. All right, so I'm going to grab my silicone sheet. It'd be nice if we had like, if you happen to have, oops, you know what, my paper isn't sticking. I'm gonna stick that down again. If you had an oval punch, you could totally use that. Stampin' Up! Doesn't have an oval punch right now, so I don't have one. But I'm just gonna stick that down. Look at that, easy peasy, and that is all fixed. Okay, that was the worst part, I promise, but now it's very, very simple. Okay. So at this point, we can go ahead and glue our box together. So I want to put adhesive. Actually, I'm going to grab my silicone sheet again. And since this is a box and I want it to stay together, I'm going to use the tear and tape. Snail adhesive just isn't, I don't like to use snail adhesive on boxes. I just don't feel like it's a strong enough adhesive to really hold it together. So I'm going to use tear and tape. It's a nice strong adhesive. Push that down really well. Grab my paper piercer here to pick this up. Okay. And now what we want to do is, so this little flap folded down like so, and this part that we didn't burnish right here, we want to line this up exactly with that. So I know it's kind of hard for you to see on the camera, but I'm just going to line it up exactly with that line. Oops, come on. There we go, and press. Remember what I was just saying about snail adhesive? Okay. There we go. And now my box stands up like so. Okay, and then the rest of it will fold over like this. And the lid stops about right there. So what I want to do is, I want the lid to stop right here. So you have a couple of options where when you feed it in, we can put a little glue dot in and just glue it down like so, which is probably what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put my gum in here. So I want to pop it in, and it'll pop right in there, and it should line up to the back, and it does. Come on. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little glue dot. And I'm going to stick it right inside there and then get this lined up exactly straight. There we go. Okay, so there we go. My little box. Okay, perfect. And then we need, of course, we need a cute little tag for the front. Okay, now I'm regretting snail adhesive, putting that piece of cardstock, a little strip, it keeps popping off because I used snail adhesive. I really needed to use something much stronger. So if you guys are doing this, maybe do a piece of tear and tape on there, or you know what would be great is the multi-purpose glue. Okay. All right. It's the curse of the camera. All right. So then we need a cute little tag for the front, like I said. And I decided to go with really simple. So I grabbed the Snowflake Sentiment stamp set because I wanted to do this snowflake right here. And I've got that right here on my block. And I'm just going to grab some Memento ink. And I'm going to ink that up. And stamp onto a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. So let's go right here. That looks great. Clean that off with my chamois. All right, and then I grabbed the Itty Bitty Greeting stamp set. It's actually 2 cases, but I grabbed this one because I wanted the stamp that said, "'Tis the season," right here. "'Tis the season," little tiny guy. And I've got that right here. And I'm just gonna ink that up. And I'm gonna stamp that right here. "'Tis the season." And again, clean this off with my chamois. Okay, nice and clean. Put my ink back. All right, and then I'm gonna grab my 1 3/4 inch circle punch again, and I'm gonna punch out the snowflake right in the center. Cute. Punch. Okay. Then I'm going to grab the classic label punch and punch out the "'Tis the Season." So I'm going to get it as far to the right as possible here. "'Tis the season." Okay. And then I want to make it smaller though. So what I'm going to do is I have this little strip left over here. Here's a little trick I'll show you. Since I can't reach that in with my finger, I'm just going to stick a little bit of adhesive there. Let's see, I want to make sure I do this the right way. Am I doing this the right way? Okay, I'm just going to stick it on there. And I want to feed this in. Let's see. Because I want to make this guy. There we go. So see, I'm feeding it in because I want it to be just short cut on this side. And then punch. There we go. Peel this guy off. And now it's just the size I want it to be. See? Super cute, right? All right. And I'm going to grab, this is the Tranquil Tide Glimmer Paper. This is in the new 2018 holiday catalog. I don't remember what it's called. It's at the bottom of your screen. It comes in a 3-pack of glimmer paper, and our new glimmer paper is amazing. You guys see this? I'm not getting glitter all over me. Do you see that? Yet it's still so shimmery and shiny. Our new glimmer paper is amazing. So I'm going to grab the Starburst punch, and I'm going to punch this out. All right. This guy is going to go right on top of that Tranquil Tide glimmer. Okay, and then this little tiny guy, I'm going to get some adhesive, and he's going to go right here. "'Tis the season." And then I'm going to grab a little tiny rhinestone, and that is going to go right in the center of my snowflake. All right, and then finally, I'm gonna grab some of the silver. Mine says gold, which is so funny, but this, I promise you, is silver. This is the mini sequin trim. And I just want a little tiny piece. So I'm gonna grab this here and cut it about this long. All right, now let's go back on the front of my box. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab another glue dot, and I'm gonna stick a glue dot right on the back of my sequin. And this is going to go right here. So it dangles down like that. And then I'm going to put adhesive on the back of this. And this is going to go right over the top. And that is my little treat. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? 'Tis the season. I promise this is a lot easier than I just made it look. But it's just a fun little way to package this up. And like I said, you could change your dimensions if you needed to put almost anything in here. Tic Tacs, hand sanitizer, lotion, whatever you want to do. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'd love it if you check out my blog, a2zstamping.com. Thanks, guys. Bye.